Good evening, and thanks for joining me here this evening, and thank you, Ian, for inviting me. I'm Josiah Citrin. I'm the chef and owner of Malise Citrin Restaurant in Santa Monica, Charcoal Venice in Venice, and Dear John's in Culver City, as well as Open Air at the Line Hotel. Today, I'm here to really stoked about this because I love great steaks, and today I'm going to be talking and showing you how to cook a great steak. So we're going to start off with a awesome 1 pound New York steak, prime beef. This is a New York steak, 1 pound, prime beef. It's been sitting out for about 40 minutes, 30 to 40 minutes to get it to room temperature. This way when we put it in the pan, it's not gonna shock it and tense it up and make all the liquids come out. So the way I like to cook my steaks is I like to cook them in 3 different times. So I like to cook a steak. So for medium rare, I'm gonna cook it for 2 minutes. And I'm gonna flip it every 15 seconds for 2 minutes. I'm gonna take it off and let it rest for 2 minutes. Then I will repeat the process again, and then I'll let it rest another 2 minutes. And then I'm gonna do it for 1 more minute, flipping every 15 seconds. And I do this because I wanna never let the meat get too hot and too on one side. So each time I flip it over, I have the cold air slowly pushing the warm air through. So I'm not searing it and making it super hot, so the meat never really changes temperature too drastically. And then for the medium, I'm gonna do the same thing, but I'm gonna do it for 3 minutes, rest 3 minutes, 3 minutes, rest 3 minutes, and then just 2 minutes at the end, rest till we're ready to serve it, okay? That's the technique I like to do. So now I'm gonna season the beef with salt. I like to use a great quality French sea salt, sel de Guérin, gris, okay? It's important what you use. Always high quality salt, best meat, best pepper, all those things, especially when you're just having a steak with olive oil and salt. Okay, so when we season our steaks, it's important that we're gonna season from high up so the salt disperses nicely all over evenly. Okay, you don't want to do it close or it just clumps up. So I'm doing 2 steaks. I'm gonna do one so you can see what it looks like medium rare, and one you can see what it looks like medium. Okay, I know people like their steaks different ways, so. Sprinkle high, make sure it disperses nicely, all dispersed out. Also another important thing is the salt's important, the quality of the meat is the pan. This is a beautiful cast iron pan. It's actually made in America by a company called Field. It's called Field Company. Awesome pan. It's been well seasoned. It's been on the fire now for about 30 minutes. I put it on a very, very low heat. I want to get it really, really evenly heated all the way through. Like it'd be, I'm cooking it basically on a flat griddle. So it's been on a low heat. Now I'm going to take it, I'm going to add a little bit of grapeseed oil. So I like to start it in grapeseed oil, not olive oil. I like grapeseed oil because it handles a really high heat. We don't need that much, just lightly coat it, not a lot of oil in there. Okay, so I'm going to take my steak here and I'm going to place it in the pan. And place it in the pan. And now I'm going to put the heat up a little bit to like a medium-high heat. I'm just going to render a little of this fat out of here right now. A little bit of fat. I'm going to render the fat out. Okay, and then parts of that's to take some of the fat out. Another part is that now I'm going to have the fat, the own flavor of the meat inside the pan. When I'm turning it, I'll be basting it in its own fat, its own juices, really to help intensify the flavor. So I'll turn the heat back up, more to a high heat. We want it on a high heat when we start. Okay. It's nicely rendering out. Okay. So every 15 seconds I turn the steaks, right? I keep turning them every 15 seconds. And what's happening here is that every time I flip it over, cold air is pushing the warm air through. And it's heating it nice and slowly all the way through. So basically at the end of this, I'm gonna have a steak that looks like it was cooked sous vide, but actually I cooked it right in the pan in its own nice, beautiful juices. Over and over. And now you can see as the longer it goes, it starts to caramelize beautifully, a nice crust. But it's going to be a very thin, beautiful crust, not a thick crust. We don't want a thick crust. Okay, every 15 seconds we get nice turns. So we're coming up on our 3 minutes for the medium, and we're coming up on the 2 minutes for the medium rare. One last one. Nicely done. So 8 seconds left. So once it's done, I'm going to turn the heat down. I'm going to wipe the pan out with a rag. It's really important to wipe the pan out. Turn it down and let the meat rest. Now I'm going to start again for 3 minutes. The resting time, okay? Here, I'm going to take a rag and I'm going to really get in here and have to wipe it out. Okay, it's important that we get in and wipe it all out. Okay. So now we'll have this back on low heat again while we let the meat rest. That's done, and we're going to start again. And we're going to put a little bit of grapeseed oil in the pan. And we're going to start again with our steak that's going to be the medium, and we're going to put it in. And we're going to go every 15 seconds, put the heat back up. Right, so when the pan is just on the fire, staying warm, you turn the heat way down. When you put the steaks back in, you got to turn it back up to full blast. And we go again. And you're going to see the caramelization is going to happen even darker and more this time. Beautiful. See it sizzling on here? This is gorgeous. Now we're going to add in the other steak. Every 15 seconds, return. My favorite way to cook a steak. It always comes out perfect. Look at that. Nice, nice, nice. Gorgeous. There it goes here. You got to be very careful when you do this. I'm going to wipe out the pan really well. And now we're going to turn it way back down again. Okay. You're going to keep your rag that you do this. You clean this pan out, keep it one rag you keep all the time for that so you don't waste all your rags. Okay, I'm going to feel it just to kind of see where it's at, right? Right, so the next round is the one we're gonna veer off. Now we're gonna go this one for 2 minutes and this one for 1 minute for the medium rare. Okay? So here we go. So now we're gonna be on the last round. The 2 minutes for the medium, the 1 minute for the medium rare right now. So the pan's hot, adjust my timer, and I'm doing this on a timer, okay, the whole time. Always by the timer. Every 15 seconds we're turning, so I'm going to put the grapeseed oil back in. For this one, towards the end of it, we're going to use the butter. Okay, so here we go, and we're going to start the timer for the 2 minutes, and in goes the medium. Every 15 seconds we're going to turn it. Okay. Heat up, heat down when it rests, then you turn the heat back up when you put the steak in the pan. Every 15 seconds, you see that caramelization, the crust. I'll put in the medium rare for the last round. And then I put some of this beautiful butter. I put it on top, put it all over the steak, nicely done. And there we go. And there we go, nicely there. Over, right in the butter. So we'll put the butter for about the last 30 seconds, right? Nice, beautiful. Okay, ready? So the last 15 seconds. Last round, last round. Okay. Okay. And beautifully done. Those are done. I'm going to just put it one last time on the butter. They are done. Take them out. Take them out. Now we'll turn up the fire. Pour this beautiful butter over the steaks. Okay. Okay. Medium rare. The medium. Have our steak here. Okay. Perfectly done. Amazing. Amazing. Okay. See the two different temperatures next to each other. You have the nicely cooked medium rare and the medium. So now we're going to take the steak. I like, this is a beautiful Mediterranean olive oil, very fruity, not peppery, French olive oil, Arnaud. So I'm going to do a little olive oil on this now. Nice olive oil over this. Okay. And I'm going to take beautiful fresh cracked pepper. Fleur de sel. Again, sprinkle high. This is flowering sea salt, so the fleur de sel. Different than the sel gris, but also a French salt. Like all the pepper on the plate like that. And then, but last but not least, I like to take a little lemon zest. A lemon here. Do a little lemon zest over it. Just a little bit of citrusness to go with it. Obviously, you can put some chopped herbs over this, arugula. Nice little lemon zest. And there we go. Our perfect steak. Both ways if you like it. You have the beautifully cooked medium, pinker on the side, then you have the medium rare. And now that all the hard work's done, the fun time begins. So here we have a great bottle of wine, right? Here we have a 2017 Almaviva from Chile. It's from Baron Philippe de Rothschild and Vina Concha y Toro. Also, the wine I've had open for about 45 minutes. I personally think that wine needs to be open pretty far ahead of time and time to breeze. I make that decision based on by the time I actually taste the wine after everybody's gone, and it's been open for 3 or 4 hours. So here, cheers. Have a little sip of the wine. And a bite of the steak. That's delicious. All the juices down here, the olive oil, the salt. Delicious. Cheers, and thank you for joining me, and thanks for having me, Ian.